Thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast. I am Mustafa Sharif, an urban planner, and you're more than welcome to join my big journey of exploring the making of smarter and more livable cities. Don't forget to follow Instagram account to see the stories behind the scenes, and also subscribe the YouTube channel to see the live talks. Let's get in touch on LinkedIn, share your reflections with us, with Urbanistica community. Recommend the podcast to people you think are interested in Urbanistica topics. Are you ready for a new episode? Let's go for it. Today I am in the front of the Swedish Parliament House in the heart of Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. It's Friday, and as you know, Fridays for Future, the climate strike. So I will go around and ask people. I will ask them the following questions. First, how would they like to introduce themselves and what are they passionate about? The second question is going to be, for what are they fighting by being here? And also, how do they imagine the future city? So let's listen to the interviews.
My name is Wilmar Eagle. I'm 44 years old. I'm educated as a psychologist and statistician, and have been involved in climate activism or environmental activism for 2 to 3 years now, and engaged in different movements, like this is Fridays for Future, but I'm also engaged in Extinction Rebellion. I'm passionate about the integrity of the biosphere, about climate justice and ecological justice, social justice, which are interrelated issues. I'm fighting for climate justice in general, but because of my profession, I'm especially interested in the pharmaceutical industry, which emits more greenhouse gases than the automotive industry, and especially regarding the target of the pharmaceutical industry or the legislation around it to improve human health. I think it's a large contradiction that this industry is not decarbonized yet and still is allowed to emit toxic greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, which is damaging health, human health and animal health all over the world. So if you think about cities as just a place where people live and interact, so I think houses have to be well isolated. They have to stand closer to avoid or minimize transport. Transport can be performed by bicycles or public transport. Cities have to become greener, also to take not only to take to store carbon, but also to cool down the cities in the warming climate. And in general, I think that we have to rearrange the way we are living in general, in the sense that we have to reduce our work time, work less, and also provide people with a living. So it will create a lot of freed up time. So the way people will interact in cities will totally change. It will or it should change. It has to change, because the freed up time can be used no longer to create capital wealth, but social wealth, environmental wealth, and will pose new questions to humans, like what their life is about. What should I do with the freed up time once I don't have to spend most of my time every day on a more or less dull job? What's the meaning of life, basically? And so future cities will or should be centered around this question. At the moment, I think to push back car traffic, individual traffic based on fossil fueled cars, is the most important immediate thing I can think of. Make it safer and more convenient, more enriching for people's life to use bikes or other forms of transport, run to work, wherever. So, but also allowing for individual decisions, because people are different. We shouldn't implement a fascist, socialist, ecological system on people, which will eliminate individualism and joy in life. But there are many ways of sustainable life forms, and we should inspire people to make their own decisions, what their path towards a sustainable life is. Yeah. Climate justice, act now.
I'm Noah, I'm from Germany, I'm 18 years old. I just visited my friends here, they're studying, so I thought before I start to study in Germany I come here for a visit, and they took me here to this strike, so yeah, I'm also into it and I like it very much. Yeah. I'm passionate about sports in general, like I am doing kind of bodybuilding style training and stuff, so this is more my focus, but in the same time I don't know, I watch a lot of documentations and stuff about the environment and how things have changed in the past years and stuff. And for example, also my dad we have bees, so we also, like, in our family have more this kind of environment friendly state of mind. So yeah, that's also what I'm kind of here for. Like when I was little, I always dreamed of like these flying cars, like Back in the Future, but right now I think like the opposite would be nice, like not more technologically advanced, rather more connected with the nature, like going back to like growing big forests and stuff. So we are living like in this around nature and in one like how to say that, like I don't know, like in connection with nature, like that. Like definitely how many cars are driving there. Like electric cars would be like fine, but especially where they try to like make more bike lanes at our city, but it's definitely too many cars. Like there's traffic traffic jams all the time. So not like, it's okay when you drive a little bit, if you have to, but if you're stuck in traffic jam for half an hour, I have also drive car myself, so I know how it is, and I also like turn my car off all the time, so I don't know, make less pollution than so that would I would change. So also maybe more politicians that also get elected that have the state of mind that we have and try to change something, for real, not just like making some plans for, I don't know, 2030 or so and not reaching them, like for real want to change them. People are like these where I would like to see more in my day-to-day experience in the city.
So I'm Eva and I'm 19 years old and I just started studying in Stockholm, so I moved here from Germany. I'm probably passionate about a lot of things, especially science, I would say, which is also why I'm studying biomedicine right now, and this probably also is the reason why I'm so passionate about doing something about climate change and trying to stop it and trying to reduce carbon footprint of human beings. So as I just moved here, I was only here last week, and this is my second time now, but I'm planning on coming regularly now. So I'm especially fighting for every single person that they should try to improve themselves and reflect and think about what carbon footprint and what effect they have on nature. So everybody should try to improve, reduce consumption, and by that themselves try to stop climate change. Also, I think that we should share more, which can improve our issues with climate change. So, for example, if we have car sharing, we don't need to produce a car for every person, but we can share it with a lot of people. So the issue with CO2 emission is a lot less. And also, I think we should work closer together as human beings. So maybe live in like shared flats, share, I don't know, like bathrooms, kitchens, in that kind of sense. So it moves closer together. Then also rents could be cheaper, which is a huge issue in Stockholm. And yeah, that's kind of what I would wish a big city to be like. But I would probably even improve public transport so everybody can use it. Hashtag small steps can have a big impact.
Okay, so my name is Susan Moe, and I have two passions actually. I run a movement called One Green Smoothie. We don't sell anything. We just talk about the positive impacts eating plants has on our personal and planetary health. And then also my business, I am a professional psychic, and I teach meditation, and that's Ascended Presence. And the reason those two are combined is because when you are eating high vibrational foods, you raise your awareness, and it helps you start to connect the facts that we're all connected with each other human beings, but also all of the plants and animals and insects, both in land and on land and in sea, that we are a part of this together and we all impact each other. And so it's really important that we kind of wake up to the fact that we need to have a bigger perspective on what's happening. I try to come every Friday. I'm here to support them. I mean, we're all made of energy, and the more people that are get together, you get that synergistic energy, and it builds up and it gets people excited. And the more that we raise our awareness, the better we're going to be able to get the word out, because it's really tough going competing with, COVID and politics and all of the other. Well, for me personally, my mission, of course, is to make people have or help people get the connection that animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of climate change. That's just one of those facts. People want to talk about single-use plastic and riding bikes and electric vehicles and all these things because they don't want to give up eating those animals. And that's just one of those inconvenient truths that we all need to face. Planning cities to force people to walk. So you closing down some streets for walking streets, you plan bike routes, and basically you work with the city leaders to legislate just to force people to move their bodies more, have easy access to communities, things like that. But also I would say, maybe not on the development side, but it's really getting city leaders to think about incentivizing restaurants and governments to serve plant-based foods. And, that should be the default. And people should, instead of having that be the, oh, do you want to have the vegan option? It should all be vegan. And then say, oh, do you want to choose to eat an animal?
So
that should be flipped. Yeah, exactly.
And
in all the cities. I would say it would be to increase mass transit, or maybe even have all the buses be complimentary, people hopping on. I think the metro here is fantastic. The bus system is fantastic. And I think just cutting down the cost or cutting out the cost, I think people will use it if it's provided and easy.
I'm Daisy. I'm 15 years old, and I have a passion for fighting against climate change. I'm here on the climate strike because I want a future, and I want a future for my children, or my future children. No, I'm not here every Friday. I'm here on the global strikes. Yeah, I skip school, and I think they're fine with it. No, they're not angry with me. It's a very green city with a lot of public transportation and the shared cars, so everyone can have access to a car but not own a car. Yeah, I bike to my school, or sometimes I take the subway, or sometimes I walk. Yeah, because I live outside of the city, so it's pretty safe. We have such good subways and buses and other trains. So I don't think it's necessary. Maybe more green areas. Because I think Stockholm is a very green city with a lot of trees. But if you come to like New York, they have Central Park, and that's like the only trees in Manhattan. Hashtag climate justice.
My name is Salma Khalid, and I care a lot about the climate, of course. That's why I'm here. I would say I'm a person who's learning about all of this, because you need to learn and know, and that is when you can actually act on it. So yeah, I'm a person who's learning more and more about climate, and that's why I want to act more and more. Nowadays there's so many resources, books, internet is the best space. I've learned a lot on the internet, like how to live a waste-free life, how to reduce my carbon footprint. Yeah, I work and I go to school as well. I told my teacher, actually, I messaged her and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be here, I'm going to the climate strike because it's more important for me. And it was nice because she understood. She was like, yeah, sure. But my classmates made a lot of fun out of me, but I don't care. I don't care. The thing is, I mostly am very passionate about individuals, what they are doing, rather than the politicians. Because it's we who choose them, it's we who decide everything. So I guess first we need to change ourselves. So I'm really passionate about that. And I'm really passionate about living a waste-free life. My tricks and advice, first of all, get awareness. That's the best thing. Then I choose public transport instead of choosing cars. Then I bike to my school. I cycle a lot, and it's nice for my health as well. So it's like a win-win. I would say we have like cykelbahn, like the place bike lines exactly. So you can cycle there. It's very safe. I would say it's nice. Well, I would love people to grow their own food, to be more interested in nature, have less cars, ride public transport, bike a lot. People usually bike in Sweden. I like that. That's good. But yeah, be more sustainable and produce like themselves, not just like go and buy, so that it's more natural and eco-friendly. I would change the mindset of the people. That would change everything. All the cities in the world, well, I would say cars. Reduce the cars. And other cities, they can make more like cycle places, bikes, so that they can, because many cities, they don't have the opportunity like we have in Sweden. So yeah. Hashtag eco-friendly cities.
My name is Roger, and I'm 57 years old. I work as a communicator at a big authority, and my passion is to make the future better for my kids and other kids also. I try to be here, so I've been here maybe once a month, but not lately because there's been this pandemic, so I couldn't come here. So it's just that I thought I should have a sign. I didn't know what to write. So I just thought, Dad is for climate, so I want to show that I care for the young people and for my own kids and for these kids in general. So I think I'm here because it's urgent now, and the urgency is not... lots of people don't know it's urgent. They don't know, they don't realize that it's really urgent. We have a couple of years to go to minus carbon dioxide, and the urgency is not here in the action. So that's why I'm here. I want to participate in creating some future.
Your dream city?
Well, first of all, I think that private cars should be banned from the inner city. Not just the inner city, but all of Stockholm that is walkable or bicycleable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think that the only cars should be allowed are police and ambulance and local transport, taxi. Otherwise, we should all walk or take a bike or public transport. because again, it's really urgent that we do something. It's urgent action, and radical action is needed. So I think the car thing, that if you have a city, I've been to Brussels when they have car-free day. So all the center of Brussels is car-free. There's no cars, and suddenly the streets are full of people and bikes, and it's really wonderful to be in that city where there's no cars to be afraid of, no noise, and you can just walk or take a bike wherever, and the children can be on the street without danger. So we can have that here in Stockholm, in a really big part of Stockholm, easily. If the cars are gone, we can be out on the street more, and cafes or trading or socializing or whatever. It's lovely when you can be with other people in the city when there's no cars. So, hashtag parents for future.
My name is Falk, and I'm 19 years old. I'm passionate about trying to live very environmentally friendly in my own way. Zero waste is very important, I think. And I'm also very interested in design, and my main focus when I try to study design in the future is to somehow combine these two things, because I feel like that needs to be done, and it's something that I feel passionate about while also feeling responsible for it. So I've just recently moved here to Stockholm, but I plan to come practically every week. This is the second time I'm here now in Stockholm, but I've done this before in Germany, where I come from. To me, it feels like it's such a big thing to have to change, that it needs change on very many different facets of our lives, and also in politics. That's of course why I'm here. I don't really have like a single focus. The one that I can live the easiest is like less cars, less kerosene, less gasoline, and more or less packaging in general. I think that's easiest for me as just a normal person to do.
What is your future city? How does it look like?
So, a lot less streets as we know them for cars, especially in the more industrial parts of Stockholm. When you go there by bike, you notice that that's really just a city for cars. There's not even like proper sidewalks, not even proper ways for pedestrians and bikers to get around. It's very confusing for any other transportation device except for cars. And I always get frustrated when I'm in that situation. And then when you look at, like, Stockholm is really nice in many ways for bikers. When I come in here, it's like around 10 kilometers if I try to bike. But it's so smooth and easy going since there's just bike paths the whole way through. And I pretty much just need to go straight on one bike path and not change directions till I'm here. And that's something that I would like even more. I think that bikes should have even more prominence. And maybe like the streets next to the bike paths are still pretty big. And if there's a change towards less cars, I think it should also be compensated by bigger bike paths. Hashtag start pedaling.
So thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast season number 2. I hope you enjoyed the episode, learned something new, and got inspired by the guest. And also please don't forget to share the episode with your friends, colleagues, and people you think they are interested in Urbanistica topic. Follow on Instagram account. You will see the stories behind the scenes before and after every episode we record in the podcast. And also don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel to see the live talks and also to see the vlogs. If you have any feedback or you want to suggest new topic or nominate a new guest, you can just reach out and write me. You can find me everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and also my email. So feel free to write me and share your thoughts with me. Thank you so much again for listening. I am Mustafa Sharif. Keep up the good work. Keep loving cities.